Hi kiddos, this is Miss Leone and I'm going to show you I'm going to talk to you about the modes of storytelling. Okay, so look at this excerpt from the story Frog. You're going to take a look at this. I want you to think about what is happening in this scene. What plans do the parents have for the night, and how do you know? How does the narrator feel about the wedding? How do you know? You're going to picture the scene in your mind. What does it look like? And what furniture do you see? What are the people positioned in the room? And how do you know that? So it says, she exhaled hard. Chloe can't come. My dad looked up from tying his shoes. What happened? Stomach virus, Mom said, tossing her phone on the bed, where I was sprawled out watching them get ready for the wedding. Her boss was getting married. I wasn't invited. Not that I wanted to go anyways. So even though this reads like one continuous set of sentences, the author is actually doing a lot of different things all at once. In this lesson, we're going to look at how writers use different techniques to create a story. Most writers use 5 different methods or modes for telling stories. The modes are narration, description, dialogue, interior monologue, and exposition. Usually they use all 5 of these in the same story, all kind of mixed up together. Narration is when the writer tells you something is happening. These are the live action parts of the story where we can actually picture characters doing things. Here's an example of narration from the story Frog. I laid the bag on its side in front of him, then grabbed a tennis racket and tried to gently nudge him to go inside. Instead, he hopped to the left and got even closer to me, causing me to drop the racket and run screaming back to my bedroom. Next is description. Description is a detailed look at something in the story. Description appeals to at least one of the 5 senses. This example is a visual description of the frog. In the dim hallway, his squatty little body was a silhouette in the light coming from the living room like a buffalo wing somebody had dropped on the floor. Okay, it helps you can visualize what this is about. Dialogue is where the characters speak out loud. Their dialogue is written in quotation marks. Here's an example. She exhaled hard. Chloe can't come. See how there's quotation marks around it? My dad looked up from tying his shoes. What happened? Stomach virus, Mom said, tossing her phone on the bed. Interior monologue is where we see a character's thoughts. In this example, Bree is talking to herself about getting rid of the frog. Seriously, girl, I thought to myself, you're like 100 times bigger than him. Just end this already. So this is an interior monologue. You can see they wrote it in italics. It's what she's thinking. That's why it's called an interior monologue. Different than dialogue. Monologue is by yourself, talking to yourself. Finally, with exposition, we learn facts or background information about the character, setting, and situation. In this example, we learn who Chloe is. We also learn that Bree's parents understand that she might feel embarrassed to have a babysitter, so in the past they have used another term for babysitting. Chloe is a college student, the daughter of my parents' friends, and they say she just comes over to hang out with me. Okay? So that's part of the exposition, the introduction, where they are setting out what's happening in the story. So most writers take all 5 modes and mix them up in their stories. So this section of Frog contains all 5 modes. So you're going to take a few moments to see if you can identify them. Okay, and then you're going to discuss your ideas with a partner. How did you do? when you are trying to write your own story, try to do the same. Use all 5 modes to tell your story, but weave them together to keep things interesting. Okay? So as you can see, she exhaled hard. That's narration. My dad looked up from tying his shoes. Again, narration. Mom said, tossing her phone on the bed. Narration. The green ones are dialogue. Chloe can't come. What happened? Stomach virus. We also have description, where I was sprawled out. Interior monologue. Not that I wanted to go anyways. And then we have exposition. Watching them get ready for the wedding. Her boss was getting married. I wasn't invited. That's part of the exposition, introducing what's going on in the story. Okay? So you're going to do a story mode sort. You will do that on, you're going to do that in Schoology. Okay? And that's all I have.